Well, I was the screenwriter. I put the whole thing together, and to me, like it was like creating a a structure for the whole thing.
Behind Azuba herself, I just wanted to try to. She's a character who has experienced too much heartbreak and toxic relationships, and I've experienced a little bit of that myself. So I was trying to, in a way, I feel like a lot of actors say this, but I put a little of myself into her. So that's
I can already relate to Shaba a pretty good bit, and just the fact that he's an awkward person. I definitely did a lot of script analysis to try to get in touch with some of his more emotional moments and kind of feel that out because I don't struggle in the same way that he does, but I tried my best to analyze the struggle and do my best to portray that.
My whole, I guess, frame of reference, what I was trying to do in this whole project is take the theme of the film that we have and try and incorporate that into the shots that we make. I remember the first day of filming, we were supposed to film in the lobby of a theater, and the whole theme was kind of isolation, someone sitting by themselves. So we decided to do was have a shot really wide and like capturing the whole size of the room, emphasizing the the mental state of the character.
I also have never been part of a short film before. Any acting I've done was been part of a play. Like I did play in high school, I did some play for the honors college on stage, and it's always been live on stage. So especially the first night of us filming, when you're like I knew general film terms like oh cut means stop the rolling, but like whenever you were clapping like to like I didn't realize I was sound syncing or like I think Cash said like wait a few minutes before you start speaking, so like you can make sure all noises are stopped so you can listen. I'd never heard of that before, so just getting used to like the actual like filming itself was pretty. It took some getting used to, but in the end it turned out to be really fun. I liked it a lot.
I mean, well, being having basically a zero but a dollar budget. I mean, we're relegated to literally what we have is just the camera. We can't have any real like set control. So the biggest problem we had was like working around the limitations of our sets. Like especially towards the end, there are some shots that were pretty difficult to get.
I think my biggest difficulty and still what I'm kind of facing while working on it is working with the audio. It's a little difficult to match the audio from like one scene to the next because the background audio might be a little different, so it could be at different higher pitches, and I just have to balance between the two.
Generally, like as a director, I'm drawn more towards powerful visual storytelling. I'm thinking about like how can I really like bring to life these emotions, these ideas with the camera, with the use of motion. That's why I use a number of tracking shots. I also wanted to like make good use of like the actors' expressions and their body language because that during the filming process that was what I emphasized most is like communicate with your hands, communicate with your body. This is a visual medium at its core. Well, like probably the hardest part was just like making the scenes connect properly. And I'm not entirely sure if I was perfect at that either. But like generally like the big thing is I also wanted to like create like subtle dialogue, and I wanted it to be about something without explicitly being about it, if that makes sense.
I liked goofing around. When we filmed the cafe scene, Luke didn't know he was going to be part of the scene when he first showed up. He just thought he was just looking at it. So when he joined, me and him were goofing around while we're waiting for it to be filmed so much. And then when we were filming in my apartment for the last scene, like whenever we were like filming when I had to lay down and having to film overhead, that was like I'd look over at Luke and make a funny face, and we would all like burst in laughter. It was just honestly, it was just that's probably like the part I most enjoyed, just being like goofing around with other people there. Yeah.
I would say probably just getting the experience in of being in a short film, because this is definitely something that I would probably want to do on the side for like the rest of my life, I think.
Always try and incorporate your theme into the way you shoot a film. So, I've always been into photography, but this is a bit more of an advanced form of photography, I feel like.
I think my favorite thing was just getting a chance to work with everybody. I love working with the people that I worked with, and it was just a great experience overall.
It goes back to like my biggest contribution, which is that I'm the guy who interacts with all of the other disparate filmmakers, and I get to like see them like do well at their job, and I get to like see the whole thing come together after an enormous amount of work. That's probably like my favorite part as a director.